Quick word. So, for my fellow followers in Christ, the true followers, not y'all wannabes. No, I'm just playing. We all a work in progress, but anyway, we should be praying to be more like Jesus, right? Like, we should be walking in his footsteps. And sometimes we can be a little bit more consumed with our own needs and our wants and our desires and what we don't have, and God, me. To have the mindset of Christ would mean to have a posture of humility and submissive to God's will over your own, and putting others' needs before yourself. And so I was reading Philippians 2, and it talks about having the mindset of Christ, and it really humbled me, and I wanted to read that to you guys. And I'm reading Philippians 2, 4 through 8, English Standard Version. And it says, "Let each of you look not only to his own interest, but also to the interest of others. Have this mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ Jesus, who, though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself by taking on the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men, and being found in human form, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross." I apologize if the camera was a little shaky. I had some coffee. Be jittery. Anyway, so Christ took on the position of a servant, a human being, even though he was a God, and came here and was not concerned about any of his needs but the needs of us. He came here to sacrifice himself for us. He came here to fulfill his purpose. If he would have been selfish and worried about him, we would be doomed, right? So we are to be the same way, selfless like Jesus, giving our lives and submitting and surrendering to his will, giving our lives to him like he gave his life for us. Romans 12:1 says, "I beseech ye therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present yourselves as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God. This is your reasonable service." So this is saying that this is the least you can do for what God has done for you. You can never repay him. But to say, "God, I surrender, not my will, your will be done," that's the least you could do. So we're not to be here concerned about what we want, but what has God purposed you here to do? Because if you are a believer, you are a part of the Great Commission, and we are to be helping others come to Christ and know Christ like we know.